This video brought to you by the Russian Death Squad. Russian Death Squad. Don't worry, we will find you.
Whenever a crazy brawl happens in sports, especially combat sports, the media is quick to call it horrible, terrible, and disgusting. Ariel Helwani called the UFC 299 brawl
one of the grossest scenes that I've ever seen covering the sport.
And the general consensus is that it's a black mark on the sport. But I think that's bullshit, because regardless of the sport, people love a little unsportsmanlike conduct.
Here we go. Fights on at Fenway.
Most of the fights you watch in a year are going to end without any drama. Most of the fighters will demonstrate good sportsmanship, handshakes and high fives and hugs, and that's true for every sport. But whether it's Jeff Gordon versus Clint Boyer, or one of the dozens of Yankees versus Red Sox fights, people love to see otherwise composed athletes lose their shit. It breaks up the monotony, and the same dynamic can be seen in how people react to post-fight speeches.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers!
At UFC 229, Michelle Waterson gave a clean, professional post-fight interview. And to be honest, it was kind of boring. Derek Lewis says,
"My balls was hot."
And that was fucking exciting. Well, that's not to say that these things can't be bad for business. Obviously, there's the Dolly incident, or the Strikeforce brawl in 2010. That essentially killed Strikeforce because CBS cut ties with it, and it couldn't really break into the mainstream market after that. An interesting bit of trivia is Vince St. Preux fought at both the Strikeforce Nashville brawl and at UFC 229. That's not really relevant, I just wanted to mention it. But then you have things like Pride 31, where Vanderlei Silva and the Shootbox camp got into the mid-ring brawl with a roided out Mark Coleman.
Congratulations, man. What happened?
Hell, you seen it?
They got a yellow card. Shootbox got a yellow card.
Oh, yellow card, thank you. Well, I got sucker punched 2 times out there for no reason. That's bullshit. Silva, you got one coming. Little ass ninja. You better just keep your ass down at 185, buddy. Cheap motherfucker. Watch my language, my mom's watching.
Anyways, that was a big brawl in front of the respect-demanding Japanese fans, and that didn't even derail the show. They still put on a Mark Hunt fight immediately after. And the UFC didn't use any of these brawls against these fighters either, because when it acquired Pride and Strikeforce, it acquired all of the fighters involved in both of these brawls. I think the UFC even included the ref's body cam footage from the brawl in one of their Pride DVD releases. But beyond just being entertainment, they become part of the legend of some of these guys. Mike Tyson had frequent acts of rage that added to the narrative of his career. These events build storylines for future fights, and add to the legacies of some of the greatest fighters and champions of all time. Now sure, there's instances like Paul Daly throwing a cheap shot at Josh Koscheck, but people worry that these brawls are going to ruin some future opportunity for the sport. And where that might have been true 20 years ago, the UFC has spent a long time polishing its reputation. Having 1 or 2 fights every 10 years isn't going to derail it. And it's not like ESPN is going to cancel their UFC contract over one fight. They pretty much air every baseball fight that ever happens. And now that Dana has said that he won't strip Khabib of the title unless the Athletic Commission dishes out a lengthy suspension, it's pretty clear to me, at least, that the UFC doesn't regard this as too horrible for business, even if Dana did look pretty beat up at the post-fight presser. Now, this storyline has yet to play itself out as of right now, and I get that while the UFC is in its major league era, where it wants to compete with the NBA and the NFL, and everyone's supposed to be a company man like DC, even though they'll still probably fuck you over, I think that this type of thing is actually underappreciated. Sure, it shouldn't happen all the time, but maybe we as fans shouldn't be so quick to clutch our pearls every time someone missile dropkicks Dylan Dennis, and just appreciate that sometimes the storylines get carried out a little different than usual. But anyways, that's the end of the video. What do you think? Are post-fight brawls a disgusting lack of sportsmanship, or an underappreciated break from the uber professional? Comment below, like this video if you like this video. Thanks to Brendan Schaub for the shout out, and thanks to everyone that came from his show. Thanks to my patrons for your continued support. If you'd like to join them in their support of this channel, there's a link in the description. Subscribe for more content, follow me on Twitter. My name's Jerry, and as always, thanks for watching.
You go to YouTube, it's Unbeliever Media.